Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you remember last time we talked about the differences between the Bratz Flaunt Your Fashion dolls and video game fashions, and we also rate them. And now it is time to talk about the Bratz Rhythm and Style fashions and compare them to the dolls that they're based on. I do want to give a quick disclaimer because some of the outfits, or I guess doll lines that I'm going to be talking about, are repeats. However, Rhythm and Style has a different developer. It's the same publisher, but a different developer than Flaunt Your Fashion did. I'll talk more on that in a different video. So that's why I wanted to talk about them again, because although they look very similar, they are actually not quite the same, if that makes sense. So we are once again going to be talking about the first edition Cool Bratz line. As you can see here, because their hair is a lot shinier, so they look like maybe they were given some of the same models, but they improved upon it. There's a lot of, I don't know, it feels like a similar game. It's almost like going from Bratz the movie to Bratz Girls Really Rock in terms of like design and feel. Like that's how I'm interpreting it, because you see Chloe's headband is blue now, which is one thing that I talked about in Flaunt Your Fashion, where it was definitely more teal. Her tank top still is like the teal color, but her pants are now less denim and more like stark blue. So there's definitely no textures in this game. However, I do want to say you can dye things in this game. So some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about with color discrepancies, it's going to be really hard. And then we do have her skirt in the game, which it is brown and black and tan this time. So that is a plus, because that's more in line with what the dolls is. Obviously, the spots aren't going to be completely the same. I mean, if you found this on a rack at TJ Maxx, it wouldn't be the exact same on either one of them. So, and then now we're going to be talking about Jade, which you can see that the cat on her shirt in the more detailed doll is actually here this time. And the stripes along her pants have made an appearance. This is no longer a belt. It looks more like sweatpants, but it's still there, I guess, and her pants are green. It's a lot more saturated in the new game than in Flaunt Your Fashion, which Flaunt Your Fashion was also more saturated than, I guess, like PS2 ones. So the more that we, I guess, evolve our video games, the brighter colors there are. So take with that what you will. But she does still have the polka dots on her sleeves, so that is the same. This top is pretty doll accurate. It's just the pants are really not. And then Sasha, she actually has her skirt in this game, so I put all of it on here because we don't have her snakeskin like little top thing. This top in this game, the stripes on her sleeves are a different color than the doll, which in Flaunt Your Fashion they were more doll accurate. But again, you can dye the sleeves. Some of them you cannot. So it's just the part that you can dye to make it look like her doll. That would be good, but in its base form like this, it does not look like the doll. So maybe that's how I'll be looking at these. But you can get her skirt, and you can see the little fold right here that you can see on the more detailed doll, and then her pockets with the orange lining. So that's really cool. And then again, on her white capris, they're not quite as crotchy as Flaunt Your Fashion is, so that's good. But they do still have this little slit here that you can see on this. And then Yasmin's, once again, we don't have beanies for Jade or Yasmin. However, with Yasmin, her top is still not the same color. It is a deeper magenta now instead of as bright as it was in Rhythm and Style or Flaunt Your Fashion, but it still is missing out on that like velour texture to it. These are now just like gray looking sweatpants. They're not even trying to be tan khakis now, so that's just like a huge thing that I see right off the bat. Now we're going to be talking about Beach Party, and if you remember last time I talked about Beach Party, I was not very happy with their doll accuracy, but I liked how they looked. And I think they really improved upon it in Rhythm and Style, because this is the same cut as this. It's still got the stripes that's going diagonal across the boobs and then horizontal over here, which you can kind of see that in the doll. And then we once again have denim shorts with the thread detailing. It does not have the fraying at the bottom, but it does have that very early 2000s pull-through belt. So I thought that was really nice. But this looks so much more like this than whatever they gave us in Flaunt Your Fashion. And then this top I thought was maybe supposed to be this one, because it's the same kind of like under bust style with like the two kind of triangularly circled cups, maybe. I don't know. Which you can dye this. I never wore it in my game. But you could probably dye it to make it look like this. I thought that was maybe the closest that it came. And now we're going to be talking about this top, which I thought that this top was in Flaunt Your Fashion for the longest time because I feel like I got it on my Switch version, but I could not seem to replicate getting it on my PS4 no matter how hard I tried. So maybe it's the Mandela effect. I really don't know. I think that's what this is supposed to be, just based on, and let me preface this by saying, none of the things in Rhythm and Style are tagged. Like, they're not tagged as any like fashion lines, unlike the other games. So this made it significantly harder to look through and try and piece together what these were from. So it has just like the really dark coral pink blocking, where this one is like navy blue with like sunset kind of pattern blocking, but I think it's still supposed to be that. And maybe they thought that the outside stripes were just black, where this one looks more navy blue. So I just think that this part needs to be thicker, and maybe the inside is actually kind of the same. I don't know, but I think that's what this one's supposed to be. It looks more like this is an outline, whereas this is like the color of the top, and then these are just the stripes, which these stripes are slightly different, but they are relatively the same between Jade and Yasmin's dolls. So it just needs some more orange and purple and thicker around here, I guess. And then now we have this skirt that both Yasmin and Sasha wear. And this tube top, I guess, is probably one of the, like, I guess, fashion mesh inspirations from Flaunt Your Fashion, which I didn't talk about in that video, but that's okay. But we're talking about the skirt. So it kind of has this thread detailing here. It doesn't really have a lot on the bottom or the side, but you can see that there is some detailing right here. And at least it does have the belt. The belt is tied. Obviously, however you tie it is going to be different based on if you just got it out of the box or if it's in like the promotional images or if you yourself tie it. So that's not something that I'm super picky on, but it is a dark denim skirt with this, and you could obviously dye it to be darker. It is a little bit more blue than this is right here. Now we're going to be talking about Express It Wave 1, which this skirt is Chloe's Express It skirt. You can see the ombre that the doll has that this also has. This one looks to be a bit more gray, but I think they actually tried to improve the texture and make this more denim, because you can definitely see that this one's denim and then it goes from like a darkish wash denim to like a dirty wash denim. But it also has this like lace slit here, which it does here too. It's not the same kind of lace, but at least they tried to color match it. So like, I'm kind of impressed by this. And it even has the stitch detailing right here and the fraying on the bottom, like the stitch detailing and the fraying. That's awesome. And then this belt, which obviously is matching her top. So this one is a little bit more pink in the game, which you could probably make it a little bit more red if you dyed it. I'm not sure if that's a piece that could be dyed, but it could be dyed. And it even has like the little like bolts in it. So I think that's really nice. So overall it's pretty accurate. And then this one took me the longest time to figure out that it's this one right here. Like this and this, because I mean, for one, I was like, wait a second, the little zipper thing looks familiar. And I was like, oh, it's that. And it even comes in the same color, which is kind of like this like burgundy thing. It is definitely pleather. Like in the game, it looks pleather, which I mean, it is on the doll too, but it has all this like stitch detailing that this one in the game is missing out on. So take with that what you will, I guess. But it even has like the collar, which I think is nice, I guess. I don't know. And then these jeans, they're still ombre, just like her skirt was. These are also ombre. I'm sure you could dye them a little bit lighter to make them match the doll, but this one is definitely like a dirty wash to a dirtier wash, where this one is like true blue to a dirty wash. But I like that they have the ombre. These don't seem to have very much detail on them, so where these pants have like all the stitch detailing, and you don't see any of that on here. Once again, we have Megan's top. It is a mock neck. It has the vertical stripes up here and then the horizontal stripes here. It is the same coloring. Not much to say about it. It's actually really super accurate. And then we also have Megan's dress, which I realize now that this is probably not the best angle for this dress, because you can definitely see the Velcro of the doll thing, but it is supposed to be her dress. It does have the stitch detailing that it has down here at the hem, the vertical ones right here, and I know that there are buttons on this thing because I've seen this doll front ways. I don't know why I decided to pick this picture. And then it has right up here on the bust, and then the collar detailing, which this collar is obviously much larger than in the video game, but I mean, when you're thinking of proportions with modeling, that's probably something that I can forgive. And then also the stuff on the shoulders. So even though this is more like Kelly green and this is like army green, I think I can, kind of forgive it, I guess. They were trying. At least it looks pretty decent. You could probably dye this to make it a different color. I don't know if you can make it quite this desaturated of a green because they're pretty bright colors in this game, but overall it's not bad. And then we have Yasmin's Express It, which this top is supposed to be this top right here. You can see that the sleeves are a little different. This is like shirt sleeves, and then this one is, I don't even know what you would call that sleeve. It looks like a leaf to me, like a leaf sticking up. It does kind of look like it ruches right here where it does on the doll, and then it has like the little slit like that. And then it does have some like sparkles here where these aren't really sparkles. It looks like a pattern, but color accuracy, it's pretty good. The skirt is a lot lighter than this one is, but look at all those details. Like you have this like stitch detailing right here where you have, and then on the pockets, which it doesn't have the extra lines from the pockets, but it has the buttons and it has the buckle, and you can even see belt loops. And even though it's a much brighter blue than this is, I think you could maybe make it darker by dyeing it. I wish it was the same color originally, but it's close enough that you can tell that that's what this is supposed to be, where we know that there have been other things that we've seen from Flaunt Your Fashion where you're like, are you sure that this is even supposed to be what this is based off of? So this one's pretty good too. Now we're going to be talking about Formal Funk Nevra once again, because it looks completely different in this game than it did in Flaunt Your Fashion. The pants, honestly, they're not bad. I mean, this design work down here still matches this. Color-wise, it still does. With the design, I mean. The pants are definitely a lot brighter of a blue than they are on the doll, and even more than they were in Flaunt Your Fashion. And she has this pink sparkly belt that she doesn't wear in her doll form. This top looks so much worse in Rhythm and Style than it does in Flaunt Your Fashion. I don't understand what went wrong. Because why is this now lavender? And why is it not the same color as her belt? Because in Flaunt Your Fashion it was, and now it's not in Rhythm and Style, and it looks not so great. So it went from a high A tier to now it's gonna go down just automatically because it looks just worse. And we have a random entry into Rhythm and Style, which is the Hayden Williams Collector Chloe doll. This dress made an appearance in the game. As you can see, it's supposed to be like a long sleeve denim dress with like this half black pleather corset. You can see the corset right here. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 of those little notches. 1, 2, 3. It actually has the same number. Yeah, it has 4. That's nice. Good on you. You can see that it's like off the shoulder with like the collar, which this one's not quite as off the shoulder, but it's probably hard to make it off the shoulder and also feel ish like denim on a doll. So like I can kind of forgive that. Maybe that's totally what it was supposed to be. I don't know, but it's just a denim dress, which not a lot of textures in these games, but it's okay, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to find positive things to say. It doesn't have this little like chain belt thing, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all, to be honest with you. Now we're going to be talking about play sports specifically. Well, there's several different waves. There is like wave 1, wave 5, and extreme sports, but I'm just lumping them all together as play sports. And we're going to be talking about Yasmin, Katya, Jade, and Sasha. So the first one is the most obvious, and that is Soccer Yasmin. We do have the shoes in the game. The shin guards and the shoes come together, but I don't usually talk about the shoes unless I feel like they're like super important. But we have just a plain t-shirt. It's black, which so is this one. It has a number 3 on it. It's not the same font, but like that's just being really picky of me if I talk about the font. But it is still like a bright orange, and then the collar only has the detail, which is bright orange. I'm really impressed by this t-shirt. I should not be as impressed by a t-shirt as I am, but I am. And then we have this like orange skirt, which these two little like line detailings are flipped because it's supposed to be white on top and black on the bottom with a black tie instead of a white tie. But that's also being kind of nitpicky. I'm sure that you could probably dye this to like change it and switch it if you really wanted to get technical. But honestly, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Now we're going to be talking about like race car Katya, because this is her jacket. And I feel like I said that in my playthrough. I was like, hey, that's Race Car Katya, because I had this doll as a kid. So like I clocked this one immediately. It is just a white jacket. It's got a white collar with pink detailing, which you can kind of see the pink detailing. And then it says track right here. I'm really not sure what this says, but you know what? There's still something that says here, and there's like an oval, an oblong oval. And there's another one with flags. You can clearly make out the flags. And then she has like the pink stripe right here on the overbust, and then down here on the waist. And then this is supposed to be where it like velcros together as like a buckle. This is just part of the bottom of the jacket, but it still has like that pink detailing there, and then you see clearly that that's a zipper. So honestly, this one's not bad. I mean, it's just a jacket, so like really how much can you mess up, but still. And then now we're gonna be talking about Motocross Jade, which it took me a little bit to figure out that that's what these pants were. I knew that I had recognized it from the artwork from doing thumbnails for Bratz Girls Really Rock, but I couldn't quite figure out like who it was. But then I was like, oh my god, it's Jade. Also, this doll's hair is so pretty. I'm getting sidetracked. It has the red belt. It doesn't have the buckle on it, but it has like the bradding on it, the bolding, the beading, the whatever. They're red pants where like the thighs down to the shins are white. And then it has like the weird knee things that are silver. And then it also has the black detailing. And the detailing's only on the outside part and not on the inside part on both this and the doll. So like, why are the Play Sports ones, why are they so much better than the other ones? I don't understand. Is it because there's less details for them to do? But also it's a weird find. It was a weird find. And then this one is Rock Climbing Sasha, which at first I thought it was like Bowling Megan. It's not Bowling Megan. I don't know what I was thinking. But it's just this like short sleeve hoodie type thing. Well, it looks like a hoodie, but I don't think it has a hood. But it's zip up. It's got the hoodie pull strings. It's got the gray here with like the black line. It's got the pink panel with all like the little beading, which is here. It has obviously the zipper, and then it has like this part down here where it's the black and the gray. So why is Play Sports still? Why is that the most accurate to the dolls? That's what I want to know. I don't get it. Now we're going to be talking about World Family Sonia, which I mentioned, I think, in the first or second episode. I was like, hey, I know that outfit. Of course it is. It's Chloe's older sister, because it is. It's Chloe's older sister, Sonia. That's exactly what this is supposed to be. That was quite the surprise whenever I found out that that's what they use that for, because obviously, yeah, that's Office Siren material right there. If you need Office Siren, this is her, okay? But she has the pink sweater vest over a long sleeve black stripe button up, which these stripes are not going vertically like these ones are. They're kind of going that way, but the rest of them are very accurate, I guess. And then you've got like the black and white houndstooth, which obviously the houndstooth here is smaller than it is in the game. I don't know how small they could have made it and still made it look like houndstooth, so I'm gonna give them some grace for that. And then we even have the gold belt. And then the belt over here, which this one's also supposed to be gold, and this one's just white. But honestly, she slays. Like, it looks so good. This is more of a baby pink than this is. This is more like a Pepto pink with like a bright magenta kind of here, but at least it has the detailing and the collar. Like, could you ask for more? And now we're going to be talking about twins Roxy and Phoebe, but specifically Roxy from this line, because Roxy makes an appearance in our game. And I'm a little disappointed in the game's version as opposed to the doll. And also I wish we would have had Phoebe's, because I like Phoebe's because it's pink. But the stripes do go the same way. They're kind of diagonal on the sleeve and then a different kind of diagonal on the bodice. But this is definitely like navy blue and not quite as red. This is more like a berry red, where this is like a true red and a black. So I wish that this would have been black and red. And then she does have her distressed jeans, which it does have like the little mesh parts, and it does have like the bleach splotches, so that's awesome. But it doesn't have this like yellow paint and stuff on the thighs. And then her belt is like silver pearls, which this one right here on the doll is like small silver pearls, like wrapped around and around and around, and has like the little, this right here. So even if you only have like the one pearls, why couldn't you have just a little bit? But you know, they have some stitch detailing, so I guess I can't complain too much. So that is twins Roxy. Now we're going to be talking about Pretty and Punk again. Okay, so this is Chloe's second outfit. We've seen a lot of this outfit. This is the third time that we've seen this full outfit in a video game. It's like that cold shoulder. It's got that weird neck thing. It says London. It's black long sleeves. Honestly, it's pretty accurate. I don't really know what else more to say about it. It's missing the belt that you have right here, but it has the Union Jack stripes, which these ones are similar to the ones in Flaunt Your Fashion, but the pants are blue, but you could make them more of a charcoal color. And then we have her dress, which it is not a two-piece in this game. It is a dress, whereas in the PS2, it is a top and a bottom. In this, I don't remember which twin or triplet this is, but she's got like a darker version of the dress, which more accurately matches Chloe's. In the store, it's like a dark blue, but you can make it black. But it has the pink of the Union Jack, like the doll does, but it's missing like the little pleats here on the skirt and with the plaid underneath. But it has even the partial belt too, which is more noticeable here because it's black on the blue and black on the denim. So, and it has the zipper. So I think that that's nice. And then now we're going to be talking about Megan's skirt, which this is not even a full belt. It looks like it goes underneath the denim, where this one, it goes halfway around the skirt. It is still denim with the Union Jack. This Union Jack is different than this one. This one's like thicker, so they could have done like this design on it instead, but it's all right. I digress. The belt is supposed to be black instead of purple, but you could probably dye it to make it black. I really don't know. I did not try that, but it does have the chain detailing on the side. It is missing, however, the black mesh on the bottom. And then this is Jade's first outfit. I don't want to really talk about this shirt that much because it's not as like super different from Flaunt Your Fashion. But I did want to say that they do have the pants on here and they do look pleather, and it does have the chain on it with the belts and all of that. So, and then the skirt, you can dye it pink, which is its saving grace, but it comes in purple. And that's really all that I wanted to say about it. Other than that, it doesn't look much different than the Flaunt Your Fashion one. Once again, they have the same this for Yasmin's top that they did in Flaunt Your Fashion, and it doesn't look like it's doll accurate. Maybe, but not quite. I don't know. Maybe I just need to see this doll in person instead of on a picture. And then these are supposed to be Sasha's pants, which the chain is pretty accurate. We've got these like thigh meshes, and then you can kind of see these down here. And then this one does not have the little logo thing that Flaunt Your Fashion does, which is why I wanted to talk about it, because these ones are more doll accurate except for the color and stuff. But I'm sure you could probably like dye it to be like a blue with maybe some gold trim. I'm not really sure, but it does still have that thread detailing all over that the doll's one does, except for over here. And we also have Sasha's second outfit top, because I was like, what the heck is this? And then I saw her second outfit again and I was like, oh my god, that's her top, because I remembered the purple part in the skirt, but I forgot that her top had caution tape on it. So that I thought was really cool. It is shiny in the game, and it has more like panel detailing than the doll one does, at least in this image. But it is cool that it has like the straps of the caution tape, which it's closer together on the doll, but I think the doll has smaller boobs than they do in the game. So obviously your boob size is going to affect how your clothes fit. And then we have a random one of Treasures, specifically Roxy, which is her top. Honestly, Play Sports and Treasures, they're two that are like spot on. Like, it's just a white t-shirt. It's got the black mesh sleeves, which these ones, I guess, poof up off the shoulders, and these ones are more like on the shoulder, but it says couture, and it even has like the anchor with the pink detailing on it. The only thing is the anchor doesn't have the pink tips like it does on the doll, but they even, I guess, tried to have the white dots in the middle, or like the beading or the gem stuff in the middle. And we couldn't even get this in the PS2 game. Like, this was a plain shirt. It didn't have couture on it. So, I don't know. It's 10 out of 10 from me, dog. Now we're going to be talking about Style It Wave 1 Jade again, but it's for the top this time instead of the skirt. So, this might look recognizable because Jade wears it in a green color for her interview with Berdine, and Chloe wears this outfit for her date with Nigel in Bratz Archangels. It's got like the cropped v-neck underneath, which I can't really see the striping on here, but it is a v-neck. And then we have the denim jacket, which it has the buttons on it. Like, this one has the buttons and this one has like the buttons, which I think is so cool. The only thing is this looks more green than it does denim, where this is like a darker denim. And then the shirt, I think, is supposed to be a really deep navy. So otherwise, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We're going to be talking about Rock Angels again, but we're only been talking about Roxy and Chloe. So this is, oh, I don't remember her name. Is it Harley? Maybe? This is Harley's outfit, which it is completely Roxy's outfit. So I was correct, which is why I was like, she looks like Roxy because it's Roxy's whole outfit. Because she's got like the same little thing here where it slits because that's a zipper, And then it's leather because you can see that it's shiny. It's got like the same detailing, the thread detailing. And then it has this where it, like the belt that it belts over. And then the pants, it has the belt, even though it's like the same blue as the pants. And then here you can see it's black leather, but it has the detailing. And then these sides are more shiny than Roxy's is. Roxy's is more of like a white fray, but it's definitely that this is supposed to be. Also, disregard this picture. I forgot to delete it after I figured out what this actually was, because that's why we're talking about Chloe, because this is Chloe's jacket. So Chloe's jacket has the red inside, which so does this one. And then she has a white top underneath that says Rock Angels, which is what this says with like the roses. And it's just a black jacket. So honestly, these are not bad. I'm tired of seeing Rock Angels, but it's not bad. Now we're going to be talking about Campfire and Winter Adventure again, but this time just Chloe and Dana. It's the same skirt that we've seen already. Kind of tired of this skirt too. It's not really much different than Flaunt Your Fashion. It is a dark green. It's got the belt. It's got the pockets with the details. It's kind of the same, to be honest with you. It just is a little bit updated graphics and different developers. But I really want to talk about Dana's dress. So we do have this also in the PS2 version, but this one is more tan than it is yellow. It has 6 buttons only. Thank goodness, because they don't know how to count for some reason. And it has all this detailing, the brown detailing that her dress has. So honestly, it's not bad. I mean, it's an ugly dress, but it's not bad. I'm glad that it's accurate. And this was a surprise for everyone. We have Holiday 3rd Edition Chloe in our game. So I did put top, bottom, and boots on here. Not really going to be discussing the boots. I just thought it was cute that they were in there. But it's a very Santa outfit. It does have the white on the cuffs. It just is not shown in this picture. But we have like this very fur-lined red velvet set where this is more poofy than it is on the doll, but it's still there. You can't really see that it's supposed to be like a velour, but at least it's red. The skirt, these little like jewel things on the belt, there's supposed to be more of them and close together, as you can see on the doll. These ones are blue and these ones are like clear, like white diamonds, but it still has the white fur trim on this down here on the skirt. Still can't tell it's a velour, but that's all right. The only thing that's really different between the boots are these buckles are gold where these ones are silver. So, but honestly, pretty good outfit. I was surprised to see it. I was also surprised to see Wintertime Wonderland Wave 1, specifically Chloe, Dana, and Sasha. So this is Chloe's sweater. It is a pink mock neck sweater, which this one obviously is more saturated in the game than this one where it's a little bit more pale. It does have this diamond detail up here though, which I found to be very interesting. This one is like a berry color and I don't know, like a red orange, where this one is just like orange, I guess. I don't know, it's hard to tell because my monitors both look different. Like this on my monitor does kind of look like to be a berry-ish orange, and then my other monitor it doesn't, so it may just be how close I'm sitting to it, because on OBS it looks different than it does on my screen, which is weird because they're both the same color. But it is up higher in the game where it's supposed to be across her boobs. So I don't know why they didn't bring it down, but it's fine, I guess. And then we have Dana's sweater, which again, we have the vertical stripes on the collar, which is a turtleneck. And then we have the horizontal stripes on the rest of the sweater. This one is more saturated than this one is, but it is still the same purples and the same blues. The pink is just a lot more prominent, where this one is more of a muted lavender almost. And then we have Sasha's green sweater with the snowflake on it. It's a green turtleneck sweater with a snowflake. It is the same lime color. Like, it's really hard to mess that up, and they did a really good job. We also have her striped sweater, which I should have picked the one without the scarf, but it is very doll accurate. It is still a mock neck. It's got the stripes. It's not in the same order, but if you pick this up off the shelf, would it be in the same order? No, probably not. But at least it's recognizable on what it's supposed to be. I do wish that the stripes matched, but maybe the stripes don't even match on the dolls. I don't know. Now we have Slumber Party Waves 1 and 2. We have Chloe, Jade, Megan, Sasha, and Yasmin. So we have Chloe's top and her bottom. Her bottoms you get at a different location than her top. Her top is definitely a bit more like red coral pink, where this one is like a light pink, but it has the straps, it has the top detailing where like the straps and this detail right here are a different color because these ones are like a satin ribbon type, and the rest of the top is not that same pattern. They even went so far as to include this little like stitch detailing, which I was a little surprised about it. If they didn't do that, like I wouldn't have complained about that because you can't hardly see that. But it even has the star, which this one is silver and this one's white, but I'm sure you could try and dye it to make it match. And then you have her cute little Chloe Angel Wings cloud shorts. I don't mind that they're longer. I don't mind that at all. It even has like this little like tie here, which I think maybe right here you see it on the doll, but I don't really see that on the doll. But it looks pretty good. It's just missing the stars because not only does she have her angel wings on here, she also has stars on here. So that's the only thing it's missing. But honestly, it's pretty good and it's pretty accurate. Now we have Jade's cat top, which has the black part up here, like it does on the doll. It has a blue cat, which they did a pretty good job replicating that. I'm kind of impressed. And then the white part, and then they added extra black threaded detailing that you don't even see on the doll. But pretty impressed with it. It's pretty good. We also have Megan's little top right here. It has the red straps like it does here on the doll, and then the light periwinkle soft robin's egg Tiffany blue of the tank top, and then it has the cherries, which they did a good job replicating, and then they added once again some thread detailing here in red, which is not on the doll. So now we have Sasha's top and bottom. The sleeves are not quite as gray as the doll is, but I think that you could make it a darker gray. It even has very similar like double zeros on them because it has like the white dots on it too, which is very nice. This one does not have the thread detailing, and this is where I'm about to get picky because they added the thread detailing on the other ones and this one does not have it, even though the doll clearly has the gray threading, but it's okay. And then the shorts, these ones are definitely a little bit like a very light aqua or a mint color kind of, where these are like gray shorts with a gray belt, but they do have the ties, so pretty good. Then we have Yasmin's, which honestly I really like Yasmin's. I think it's so pretty. I wish this was a little bit paler, but it has all of this thread detailing that the doll has, and it even has a little tie up here, which this one is just like the one color that matches the thread detailing, where this one is like a pink and a light purple that matches this. And it's like pinker than the rest of the details. But we also have her shorts, which I'm not gonna complain once again about them being longer. And it has the same thread detailing, and it even has the lace cuffs that match the thread detailing, which is doll accurate. So other than the main pieces being a little bit darker, it's pretty nice overall. And then we have a new line, which is always Bratz. We have Chloe, Jade, Sasha, and Yasmin. So this is Chloe's top and bottom from this. She also has the boots in here, but I decided not to talk about them. She has the denim jacket, which is one color, 1, 2, 3, 4 of those little, I think there's only 3 here, but that's okay. But it's just like a white tube top with a jacket, and they even have the fraying, which you can see the fraying here. And then we have a two-tone denim blue piece for her skirt. It even has the little part of the belt right there, and 1, 2, 3. There are supposed to be 4 of these little buttons, but it goes down the skirt, where this one stays right here centrally located instead of going down. So I don't know how hard that is to like make work in a game, but that's just something that I find different. And then this is supposed to be Jade's top. Can you believe that? Because I can't believe that either, because this looks like just a random flannel that you'd find at Target. This doesn't look like this. Like, it does not look like our fashion icon Jade, okay? Very disappointed in it. It does not have the collar that we know that they can do, because we saw it in like the World Family Sonia, and then also in Express It Chloe. I mean, you can kind of see that this is like a green over a button up, but where's the collar for this? Like, if you could not make it work, don't try and make it work. You know what I mean? Like, we could have had a different Jade outfit that we could have put. We could have had like going out Jade or something. So we do have that's what that's supposed to be. And then I never noticed that these were leather shorts over fishnets. Had no idea. Also, these boots are in the game, which I think is really fun. But these are also leather shorts. They have like the chain and then like the mesh, which goes to their knees in the game, where on the doll it goes to her shin. So I don't know if they couldn't like make it longer without like clipping issues, or I don't really know, but you can make the mesh a different color, so you could make them darker to make it more doll accurate if you wanted to. And then we have Always Bratz Sasha, which we do not have her puffer vest in the game or her necklace, but we do have her top, which does have that white stripe with the white collar, and then it is like pink, orange, and white tie-dye, which this doesn't really look like tie-dye. It kind of looks like flames, but I imagine in a video game it's probably hard to make tie-dye. And it does have the black stripe that says Bratz and like the black meshing, so pretty good. These are supposed to be her pants, which it's easier to believe whenever they're side by side, because these are very like flared bell-bottom pants, and these ones are just like regular pants that you see. These are also those boots that Jade wears, by the way. But what really gave it away was kind of the cargo pockets down here, and then also this tie thing. This one is obviously like way longer and goes down longer because this loop hangs lower, but I think that's exactly what that's supposed to be. And you can dye this, so you can probably make that orange and then make the pants darker, so then it looks more like the doll. And now we have Yasmin's. Her little fluff on here, it's not quite as big, which they could make it, I don't know if they could make it a little bit floofier, I don't know. But I know that they can make it like a white or a cream color just based on holiday, but in the game it's more of a tan. She does have the same vertical stripes, and it has the brown tie up here, and also the corset kind of like, I don't know, detailing, like stitching, I don't know, which this one is not quite as prominent because it is just small little X's. She does have this brown faux leather snakeskin skirt looking thing, which it does have the purple tie, but it's not quite the level of detail that this one is. It's missing all like the purple thread detailing, which is not really here in the game. And then we have Pamper Pup's salon style, which was very interesting to see, I guess. It was, ooh, wow. It looks bad. So you can see that it's like a leopard, cheetah, whatever kind of print this dress is, and you can tell that that's what that's supposed to be because it has like the blue straps, which this is like very pale blue ribbon, and it has the dress underneath. You can barely see the blue mesh overlay skirt in this picture. I don't think I had Yasmin try it on whenever I shopped for it in Milan, but I don't know. I went back through my footage and I couldn't find it, so. But that it's supposed to have that overskirt. It's not very prominent at all like this one is, because this one almost doesn't show the dress underneath, so I don't know. But it does have this little tie, which these are a lot darker because I think this is the same color as the overskirt. So maybe if I wore it, the overskirt would be more prominent, but I did not. And then we have Sasha's, which I have a lot to say about this. This is more of like a pink lilac, and this is definitely lavender. You can kind of see up here that it's a little bit more brown and trying to be cheetah print or leopard print or whatever it is. And then the straps, and then you can see kind of the overskirt where it's like cheetah print and leopard print, because it's the opposite of Chloe's where hers is like leopard underneath and like the blue on top, and this is the purple on the bottom and leopard on top. But I think this doesn't work quite as well as this because without the overmesh, it's like, it's okay-ish to look at because it's a pattern, where this, because you can kind of see the overmesh, this just looks like there's too much body there and it needs something else to break it up. But the doll's so much better. But yeah, it's just atrocious. And now we have Hollywood style Katya, which everyone knows this is probably my favorite Katya doll ever. And I love this dress in the PlayStation 2 game, but they did my girl dirty. Look at this. Like, look at this doll. She looks gorgeous. Look at those pleats. Look at this design right here. And it translated so well in the PS2. And then look at this. This looks like, you know those Disney princess dolls that they had like plastic dresses and everybody was like, oh my god, Ariel's tail tasted the best. That's peak girlhood. That's what this dress looks like. It looks like one of those Disney princess dresses, or what Ariel's tail was made of. That's what this looks like. It has this little like rose detail here, which I don't know if this is supposed to be a rose, but if it is, it's a sequin and it's supposed to be on the dress, where this is not. You can kind of see the folds, but it's kind of a pitiful excuse for the folds. At least it only has the one strap, so that's good. Now we're going to be talking about Forever Diamonds, Chloe, Sasha, Sheridan, and Yasmin, not Jade, because these are Chloe's pants. You have the regular denim with the diamond triangles, which these on here look more like sequins than they do diamonds, but I don't know how hard it is to make a diamond look in a video game, so I'm gonna give them some grace for that. And then it even has the shiny part up here, which is supposed to be the diamond belt, and it has the thread detailing of the pockets and on the side. And then these are Sasha's, same thing with the belt and the detailing, and then it has these little like mountain zigzags that are on the side. And then I was surprised to find Sheridan's instead of Jade's in the game, but it has just the 2 stripes, unfortunately, where Sheridan's has 3, but it does have the thinner stripe and then the thicker stripe. It's just missing a thin, a thick, and a thick like it has over here. Hers are also darker than the other girls, and it has like kind of some pleating. It doesn't have that here. These obviously are like the same, I guess, mesh, just with different bottoms on them, so maybe I can excuse them for that, but it does still have the thread detailing, and then it has the diamond belt, or what is supposed to resemble that. And then Yasmin's, it has the detail on the thigh, or I guess the hip, and then it starts on the thigh again, and like the circle's very like centered on the knee, where in the doll it starts on the knee and then loops down here by the ankle. So that's, I don't know. And then again with the belt. Now we have Girls Night Out, Jade, Sasha, and Yasmin. This is so much worse than it was in Flaunt Your Fashion. It doesn't really have any of this detailing up here with like this panel work. It does still have the same shape and it has these strings, but this is like green where this is blue. So this is offensive, more offensive than Flaunt Your Fashion, let me tell you. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. Sasha's, as usual, is the most accurate. It is missing this little cutout here, but it does have the straps going crisscross now. So maybe she cinched it closed for rhythm and style, but it still is the same pattern. It still has the underskirt and it's the same color. Then we have Yasmin's, which they did not listen to my advice, but they did add that pink mesh that she was missing in Flaunt Your Fashion into this game. And the purple one is shorter than the pink one. So, and you can still see the pink dress underneath. So interesting. The floral applique is still over here on her hip instead of like over here, like more central on her body. Like you can see it starts underneath her right boob, but that's okay. It looks better. It looks better. It looks good. And then we also have Funk Out Wave 1 Yasmin, which surprisingly enough, this dress shows up twice to buy in the game. It's in Lagos and then somewhere else, but I don't remember where it is. Maybe Milan. But I do know you can get it in Lagos. But it is this dress right here that Fiona wears whenever she comes back to Stylesville from Brazil. That's the only reason why I remember this dress that much. But it has like the little stuff down here with the flowers. These flowers are more orange on this dress, where these ones are like a red and a coral color because it matches all of her accessories. You can see this like part where your boobs are supposed to sit on the dress. I don't think that this dress has it on either picture because it's literally the same. But it does have flower detailing, and because of this little like ruffling right here, you can definitely tell it's supposed to be the same dress. This one is way less detailed than it is in the doll form. And now we're also going to be talking about Sweet Dreams Pajama Party Wave 1 Felicia, which is my favorite Felicia ever. Look at it. Just, it's perfection. It's ultimate perfection. And in the PS2, I talked about how this was a top and a skirt, even though the doll is a dress with a top over it. This you can clearly see is a dress with a top over it. The most striking difference is this is not quite as vibrant as this. So her top is supposed to have like red detailing up here where it's very pink, and then her hearts are supposed to be very bright and in your face, and they're not because this ruffling is supposed to be red. Like you're supposed to have like red and green and blue and purple and orange hearts, and you have the green, no, those are yellow. You have orange and pink hearts, but you really need like more saturated blue, and then these yellow need to be green, and the purple, I mean they're kind of purple on here, but you definitely need like more red. And then this is like a turquoise, where this one is very pale in comparison. So, but overall it's Felicia's Sweet Dreams outfit. I cannot talk about this enough. Okay. It's so cute. And I did buy the 2 fashion pack of Felicia and Kumi, and I'm going to see if you can dye it to make it more doll accurate. So that would be fun to do. Now we're going to be talking about Ooh La La Kumi, which if you remember from my Bratz Archangels video of like comparing, I don't like the color scheme of the doll, but they did it and they made it the same for this game. So you know what? Kudos to them for that. I do still prefer the coloring of the artwork, but it's okay. It does say I Kissy Paris. You can see the kiss mark here. I can't really see the eye or the Paris on here, but she does have this jacket, which does have this like magenta colored lace. I think this is supposed to be the lace detailing. It's not really translating that well, but it does have the like mesh fringe on the sleeves and over here on the jacket, her little green tweed skirt. This is definitely a more vibrant green than this is, but it does have this belt. And it has the purple rose little detail with the meshing. And then it has the purple meshing down here on this little trim. And you can even see the little bows from her socks. So, and her hat. It's the same style. I think this one is black with like lilies. And this one is purple with like cherry blossoms. But they are in Tokyo. So they probably, you know, and Kumi is from Tokyo. So anyways. And then a fun one, we have Blind Date Nevra, which honestly, this is very similar to Yasmin's Girls Night Out second outfit. The top underneath her jacket is just different, but it is a light denim jacket and you can see the pockets and the stitch detailing, which is in black. And then you have the black faux fur collar with the black faux fur cuffs. I know for sure that I missed several things in the game. I could not for the life of me figure out what they went to. So if you want to say, hey, this one that you didn't do that you can buy at this place, this is like what it is, because this was a lot of stuff to go through and it was kind of melting my brain a bit. So if you know of some other items that I didn't talk about, that you know exactly what line that they come from, please tell me in the comments. Also tell me which ones were your favorite in Rhythm and Style, and next time you see me, we will be ranking these outfits. So I'm going to leave this here and say thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys.